Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 22 of Natty and Not. We are your hosts,
I'm Alexis and I am Natty.
and I'm Mike, and I'm Not. So, what's up, you? We had
You've got,
one week off from the podcast. What's up?
yeah.
I have something on my shoulders.
No, I feel like you had set a goal a couple episodes ago. Was it you wanted to fill out the frame? Oh, now you're leaning back, so it's not so
Yeah, I
much.
think that's I don't know. I got to mark myself on the ground and then use that as a
Yeah.
benchmark. But
At what point do you want to get bigger?
I want to keep stepping
That's
back and
funny.
growing wider, dude. Let's do it.
Keep growing wider. Yeah, so 2 weeks off.
Yeah,
Well, it's been 2 weeks since we've done an episode.
true.
That's what I mean.
Right.
So a couple of random interactions I had this week. One of them made me feel really good and made me laugh, and the other one made me so mad I wanted to just go punch this guy in the face. So the first one made me really excited. I was moving over to the unilateral row, sitting up straight. It's like you could do two arms or one,
Mm.
and it's just like it's a row. It's like a simple seated row. So there's somebody on it, and I was like shifting around. He was just putting weights away, and I was like, cool. And he had 90 on each side, but I was trying to load 70. And he goes, "Oh, do you want me to take them all off for you?" And I was just like, "Oh, just take off the 2 10s," because of like how he had it loaded. And he like kind of paused for a second. He's like, "What?" I was like, "Just the 2 10s. Like, leave the rest of it. I'm gonna start with that." And he kind of like paused and he looked at me and he's like, "That's like my weight class. I don't know if I really like that." And that
Mm.
like totally caught me off guard, but also made me feel really good. And the response that just came out of my mouth that I feel like I had no control over, I just said, "Hey, work harder, man. I don't know what to tell you."
That's
Like
funny.
you're mad that like a almost 40-year-old woman is outlifting you. And then
Yeah.
I built up to what he was lifting, which was 90.
That's funny. Get
Made me
better,
feel
dude.
really good.
Hell
I
yeah.
work harder. What the fuck, I don't know. Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Oh, good job. Way to put him in his place.
Made me feel really good.
Yeah.
I was just
That's
like,
awesome.
you weak bitch. Um,
That's funny.
the other interaction I had must have just had to take me down a notch for feeling good about making that man feel inadequate was the creepy guy at the gym. So there's two creepy guys at the gym, just to like refresh in case people are new. There's the porn guy who
Yeah.
I've seen a lot lately,
Yes.
and he
Hasn't
makes his weird noises. He makes his weird noises when he's lifting out in the free weights. But in the free weights, it's not like as repetitive. It's just like his like grunt is just very weird.
yeah.
Um, but I've never heard him yell bitch to out like on like the dumbbell floor. So I keep waiting for him to like come in the back by like all the leg machines so you can come and be like, "Could you call bitch, motherfucker?"
Yeah. I'm excited to talk to him.
I mean, I'm
Every
excited
time
for you.
I've seen him, he hasn't like been loud or like I haven't even heard him in between sets. I do have my earbuds in a lot, but
Yeah, I'm a weirdo. I can't listen to music while I'm lifting. So there's that guy. The other guy is like he just talks to everybody, but like whenever he's like complimented me, he's gotten like weirdly sexual. He was the one that said, like, "I like your shape." I was
yeah.
like, "That's uncomfortable." Um, so I'm doing the high pull, and I was like either in the middle of my set or I literally like just put the weight down. So I was kind of like out of breath. I wasn't really like, it's not a time you would come up to talk to somebody, like, right? He comes up to me and he stands so close to me And he goes something like, I really like your back muscles or your shoulder muscles. I don't remember what he said exactly.
Mm.
But he took his hand and was like pointing to the muscle. He's like, oh, like I really like your back muscle. Like he got that close to kind of like
Yeah.
run his hand over his shoulder. And in that moment, all I could do was like I just stared at his hand like about to fucking touch me. Like I
Yeah.
didn't even like look at him. I was just like, what the fuck? So hopefully he picked that up. And I just looked at him and I just said, thanks. Like I don't engage in
Yeah.
conversation because I was just so like, what the fuck? Almost
Yeah.
just like that's just gross. Like you don't touch other people
It was
in that like
violating your, yeah,
weirdly
very like
sexual way.
too close to like just invading personal space.
Super invading personal space. Cause it's ugh. So he really creeped me out. And then I like went and found you because I was
Mm.
just mad. And then I went back to my workout. And then towards the end, I had a better head on my shoulders and like I wanted to say something to him, but I haven't seen him since.
Weasel.
So it's just gross. It felt really
Yeah.
creepy.
That's weird. I wouldn't
Like,
like, I think it's so weird to like go up and talk to like, especially women. Like I would never go up to another like a woman and be like give her a compliment on her physique. Like I think that's
like you might if you knew her. Like we have like a friend at the gym who's a bodybuilder and she's a
sure,
woman.
yeah. So yeah, Liz I
But
would give
like
a
if you're
compliment.
friendly,
Yeah, if I would, if I saw her
but
and I'm
not
like,
somebody
"Hey,
you don't know.
yeah, yeah, exactly." Like I wouldn't go up to like a strange, right, just like a person that I don't have seen at the gym but don't know them. Like
Hmm.
never said a word to them. I wouldn't go up and be like, "Hey, I like the way your back muscles flex," and or like, or just say something weird and creepy. Like,
It's creepy.
yeah,
It's different if you're complimenting like a genuine gym compliment. Like I
like
had
like
I
lifting a lot of
had
weight. You're just like, "Wow, congrats!" Like that's awesome. Good.
something,
Yeah,
right? I did
that's
have
different.
I've had like groups of boy because it's like with like the teenagers and stuff, or they're like the younger kids. I have had surprisingly them say things to me on like a couple of occasions, just like small groups of guys. But they do it in such like a genuine way because they're just young and they're not being creepy. But one guy was just like said something about like, man, you got shoulders. But that's like a gym compliment bro kind of thing, not like, I really like the way your back muscles.
Yeah,
Ugh,
yeah, that's creepy. But
creepy. I don't like that guy. I feel like you should say something to him.
all right, I don't know what to say. Like, hey, keep my wife's muscles out your fucking mouth. And then I
Ew.
slap him like Will Smith did Chris Rock.
Ew.
Oh, what?
I don't know. That was just gross. Keep my wife's muscles out of your mouth.
Oh, yeah, I guess that was weird.
Icky. I don't like that.
Oops.
Anyway, those are my gym updates. Things that happen to me. Good 2 weeks at the gym though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Got PRs? You're setting PRs?
Yeah, I put 5 plates on each side of the leg press.
Nice. Unilateral?
The pivot press. Fuck off, unilateral.
Single
God
leg,
damn it.
right? Single leg? I'm just kidding. That's a lot of weight.
That's like single leg for you. So shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it, you
I
stupid
was,
asshole. You take me, I get from like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And then you're like, "Blah." Bring
yeah.
me right back down.
I'm just being silly
Man,
with you. That's a lot of weight.
I know, I know. Um, so we watched this Jubilee video.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, talk about that.
So it was basically the Jubilee topic was steroid users versus natural.
Mm-hmm.
And they were I think they were either associated with fitness, like having fitness influencer type profiles, or they were bodybuilders, or both.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
they
I think
had,
a lot of them were both.
yeah, I think a lot of them were both too. But like one guy said he was like he taught a college class or something, and I was like, oh, okay, so maybe this
Oh,
is just all people tied to fitness one way or another. And they had Eric Janicki, I think his name is. I may be messing that up, but he's like this, very famous
That guy's
influencer.
fucking huge.
He said like on the show he's 280, like he's a monster. He's like 6'1", 280, and just got
Huge.
massive physique. And I think he competed not too long ago too. Because
Did he really?
I follow him on Instagram, so I know he competed not too long ago, but he also retired too. And now he's hosting these like Jubilee videos, but and he's obviously on PEDs, on steroids, and he even made a comment in the show like, "Yep, this is my, I've built my brand by the way I look."
Yeah.
And he was narrating the whole thing, or not narrating, moderating. Excuse me, thank you, moderating. And they had a bunch of questions. I think you wrote them down.
I did.
What was the first one?
So if no one's seen any of these videos
Oh,
before, they
sorry,
have
yeah.
like 5 people that are on one side, 5 people that are on the other side.
Mm.
And some of the videos are really funny where you've got like polar opposites where they're going to do like MAGA versus super lib. And those panels get out of control.
Mm.
This one, natural versus steroids, and it didn't get out of control. It was actually
Yeah,
like some really good conversations that were had.
it was.
So I did write it down. So the first question was, and they tell people if you agree, come sit down in the circle
Yeah.
and then they talk. Steroids are dangerous and should not be normalized in fitness. Agree or disagree?
Yeah. So I agree. But I also
You agree that they
agree
should not be normalized in fitness?
I agree that they well, I guess I disagree. Hold on. I'm trying to think about
Because
this.
I totally disagree with this. I think it should be normalized. And I
Yeah,
have my reasonings for it. But
for sure. Yeah, I think as a sport,
you don't have an
I
answer to this. We watched this whole thing.
I think. Oh, I was kind of well. At first, I agree, but then I was just like, oh, no, I think I disagree.
Why do you agree?
Well, I think just from like, you know, not spreading a like glorifying like a drug, I guess, right?
Mhm.
To younger people.
Okay.
Although that's what got me into it.
I think that's what got a lot of people into it.
Yeah, but I think that's like where I'm just like, no, it shouldn't be. I think, but then as I'm now being a part of it though, I was just like, well, my T levels were starting to drop a little bit, like, and they were going to keep going down. So I would have jumped on TRT at some point, and I just did a
Right.
little bit earlier because I wanted to
You used
compete.
a little bit of extras.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
Okay. But the
So
question is, you agree that it
yeah.
should be normalized, or you disagree it should not be normalized?
Oh, okay. I misunderstood the question a little bit, but I
Do you
agree.
think it should be
I think
normalized?
it should be normalized. Yeah.
Okay. I agree that it should be normalized. My thought behind that, because there was a lot of conversation around influencing younger kids, and you see a lot of younger kids trying to hop on stuff, not really doing it right, especially not realizing like their natural testosterone peaks at like 19, 20. I think it should be normalized not to influence other people to do it, but the more normalized it is, the more people talk about, like, there's honesty in that. And then with honesty comes education.
Yeah.
So as you're like flipping through, whatever you're scrolling through, whatever YouTube videos you're watching, the more normalized it is, the more people understand what they're doing, instead of just going like, oh, fucking look at Mike McLaughlin. He's fucking jacked. I'm going to do what he does.
Mm,
I'm going to take steroids. Right. So I
right.
think the more you normalize it, naturally, just the more information about it becomes also more normal, more readily available.
That's true. That's true. And if it was regulated and legal, it wouldn't be like a
You'd have all the T clinics pushing it, just like they push people
I
on
mean, they push it anyway.
stupid amounts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Ozempic, right?
Yeah.
Those
Spread like
GLP-1
wildfire,
things
man.
spread like wildfire. Why? Because you promise people
Yeah.
that they can get thin,
Right. Don't need to
right?
change anything.
You don't need to change anything. This pill is going to make you not feel hungry. It's going to make you sick as shit when you do try to eat, right? So you're forced on a diet essentially
Right.
because you physically can't eat that much. So you have all these people that are doing that. And what's happening? So many of them are losing muscle mass and then bone density. And like it's eating away at your muscle mass. And so
Mhm.
when people are getting thin, they're not like getting shredded and
It's not
hot.
all
Like
fat.
they're
Yeah.
skinny fat.
Yeah.
They still have fat on their bodies. And most of the time they're not learning how to eat properly. So like I feel like in a way, if you allow those things to be legalized to the point where, okay, we'll let people destroy their bodies in search of vanity.
Mhm.
Fucking most of the steroids that are there were developed out of like trying to cure, not cure, but like alleviate symptoms of like cancers,
Right.
burn victims,
Yes.
right? Like most of them, not all, have had human trials,
Right.
or maybe like half of them have had human trials. So there's information they were developed for a thing.
Yep.
If people want to take it in search of vanity, fucking why not?
Yeah.
That's
So
all.
then,
That's how I feel about that.
yeah, no, I totally agree. It's just, if it is regulated and it was legal and you had no issue getting it, then there'd be more information on it. And
Probably get
yeah,
better quality
get
ingredients too,
better.
because a
Yeah.
lot of people don't get what they pay for. They don't know
Right.
what they're getting.
Yeah, exactly. If they're not going through a clinic and they're going through some other method, some back alleyway, it's just like, well, it could be underdosed, could be overdosed, could be
Yeah.
something totally different, you know.
Yep. Yep. Okay. One of the things I wrote down, and I don't know if you remember, one of those guys one of those guys said this, but he said men above 30 are at women's level of testosterone. And I said, that's absolutely not fucking true. Like, there's no way a man is going to get down women's level testosterone 6 to 60.
Yeah.
Like,
I,
can men even get that low to fucking 60 at 30? Are you fucking kidding me? What an idiot.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably, the 1 in a billion guys or whatever that just like have
Yeah,
terrible
but low,
hormones.
isn't like low for a man 300?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe there's just like a 1 in a billion, like you'll find somebody that low.
He found out it was like one person who's 31. So that's his claim, that above 30 are at women's level of testosterone. Get
Yeah,
the
I
fuck
didn't.
out of here.
I was just like, yeah, when he said that, I was just like, that seems far fetched. Like
Mm,
I don't buy that.
false.
Yeah.
False. Not true.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 2. You ready?
Mhm.
Natural bodybuilding is the only honest form of bodybuilding. Agree or disagree?
Only honest form.
Mm-hmm.
I would say no. I think like NPC and IFBB is honest bodybuilding. And
Mm-hmm.
I think there are, and the only reason why I'm like a little hesitant on it is because like I think it's more accepted and like more pros would come out and say, "Yep, I take stuff."
Men,
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
for
like
whatever reason.
yeah, I haven't seen any of the females come out and say
Or
I'm
not
on
many.
or I'm on gear. Yeah. Um, but so that's the only reason why I'm like it's more open and more talked about, and I think it's just like okay, cat's out of the bag now. Like people know. So
Yeah. No,
like
I mean, I think,
that's where I think it's a true form of bodybuilding. Not to say that natural is not. I don't think there is a like right. The question was is the
natural bodybuilding is the only honest form of
only honest
bodybuilding.
form. Yeah. No, I think they're
Yeah.
both pretty honest.
Yeah.
Like I don't think NPC and IFBB is really hiding it anymore. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Is like
they're not. Like, they're
so
not hiding it.
so
I
disagree.
think there's a part of me that agrees with it, but like with like a qualification.
What's that?
like, I don't know that like I would use the word honest,
Mm,
but I would use the term like fair or like even playing field.
sure.
Like that is the body your mom gave you. That is the body you were born with. Now, granted, I mean, steroids, like you can't out steroid a bad physique. The pros would still be the pros because of their
Right.
genetics, whether steroids were there or not. Like the steroids aren't going to fix shitty genetics.
Right.
But like that to me is like, I don't like pure is the right word, but just fair.
Yeah.
Nothing tested. That is true grit, true like dedication is like the truest way of comparing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like honest, because I don't think it's like the other way is lying necessarily,
Yeah.
but fair. What do you think?
I agree with that, but for a different reason, just because I think people react to different compounds differently. So like some people react to testosterone differently, to mastron, to
Yeah.
primobolan.
Where are
And
you
so
going with that?
like so I think that like the only unfairness would be like who knows if everybody's running like the most optimal PEDs for them, right?
Right. Well, and
So
then the amounts
right,
and
exactly.
then
That
different things.
yeah, like the most
Totally.
optimal. Like I don't think you know
That's why I say it's
it's
not
not
like
really. Yeah, that's why I agree with
fair
you.
or
Yeah.
like even playing field. Like fair in the sense of like everyone's starting at the same place
Right.
and has had like
Right.
done the same things. That's what I mean. Because you start to add in variables
Right. Right.
that play people differently. So I think like the natural bodybuilding, while it's not nearly as entertaining because it's not as much of like a freak show
Right.
as see these giant motherfuckers walking around here, like,
Yeah.
like that draws people and that's entertaining.
Right. Right.
Not as
Yeah.
entertaining probably as like the guys that aren't walking around looking like that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, this one
Definitely.
I thought was interesting. And I was very confused with why it came up in this one, but it is the body positivity movement has gone too far. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, and I don't know where they thought the difference in like natural because everybody on the same panel was pretty much agreed that like I get it, but by the sounds of it, and I'm summarizing here, it's just like they're like, no, like body positivity is like a terrible thing because it's enabling fat people and more, like 40% of Americans are obese and blah 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 and
Hmm.
number one like health risk. And so they kind of went down on that tangent.
Yeah.
So
Which was weird because it's like that's not bodybuilding at all.
yeah, it's just like it was just like a really off-putting question, and it's like, and then they just went like down a rabbit hole on fat people, and I was just like,
Well,
okay,
the one guy was trying to bring back coming around to like health costs, right? It's like obesity leads to or it's like a cause of like all these other
issues.
diseases,
Yeah, yeah,
top morbidity rate and all that other kind of horrible things. So it just costs a lot of money. So that's what he was referring to. But then it was really funny, and it wasn't maybe necessarily around this question as much as it was with the first question that steroids are dangerous. So like we shouldn't talk about it. And then they kind of were talking about some like food videos. So kind of I don't remember where this like fell in, but then they're talking about like, but you can go to McDonald's on every corner, and that's killing people more than fucking steroids are. So like there was like that whole conversation that I
yeah,
thought was like, you know what? That's like that's very like that's really true. It's really true. I
yeah,
mean, thought it was interesting.
yeah.
All right. Number 4. Steroids or steroid use leads to unrealistic standards. Do you agree
Oh,
or disagree?
yes,
I agree 100%.
yeah. For people that like, I guess, especially just the people that are completely ignorant to like performance enhancing drugs or like what bodybuilding is, and you're just like, holy shit, that's nuts. And then you're like,
It's really
I have to tell you something. Wrestling's also fake.
So there was, I won't say like the name of it, but there was this a fitness person that I follow who is like much older now. I think he's like in his 50s, but from the time he was like really like early 20s, I think, did all of these like workout videos, all that kind of stuff. So he's like very known for like the home workout videos, lots of like dancing and stuff like that. And then I was like scrolling through the comment section and somebody said something along the lines of like, is he natural? And so I'm like, I had to comment because like when you look at this person, big puffy face, right? Like using too much GH face, super watery. And then like he's got bubble gut. He's got a six pack that is just bubbling out of his stomach. And he's just like, he looks big and puffy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's so funny, they're like, and I'm like, and I just wrote back, I'm like, because he's not natural. Like, no, there's no way. And the number of people in that comment thread were like, he's been working out for so long. He's been working out so hard. Like the people that are coming to his back to be like, he competed in a natural competition. And I was just like, no, dog. That's not what happened.
No.
There was an NPC show.
Yeah.
And
There's no
like,
rules.
have you looked?
All you got to do is meet
Have
the
you
weight
looked
cap.
at this
That's
person?
it. Yeah.
It was quite entertaining. So that's like setting these unrealistic, because you look at them and it's like there's no way that this person did that naturally, or like all of a sudden at 45 they put on like 40 pounds of muscle in like a year and a half.
Yep.
No,
It's wild.
So that sets a very unrealistic standard that I think is scary.
Yeah. No, it does for sure. I think like then it kind of goes back to the first question, which is like, well, you don't want to like make it illegal and then kids start doing it the wrong way or they jump on gear too soon and the wrong way because there's not enough.
But then that goes back to the education piece.
Right.
But
right.
but with like too much information, you should get all of the information.
Right. Agreed.
Right. And yeah, you should get all of it. And so that the education is really, I don't know, to me, I think that that's really, really important. But what I hate with the unrealistic standards and the things that create is like, if you're honest about what you do, I don't think that should set an unrealistic expectation.
Right.
Because anybody watching you should know that you're not, if you're honest about it, right? So in that sense, for the people that are honest about it, I think that's fine. It's the people who use it and lie about it or like neglect to say anything. You're setting these like, oh yeah, like I just started working out and walking 2 miles a day, and or like I started taking this supplement and all of a sudden I look like this. And then like later you find out that they've been doing TRT.
Yeah.
And it's like, as like a woman, right? Or even as a man, like you're adding testosterone to your body, but you're not talking about it.
Yeah. No, it's just not transparent. It's not telling the truth.
Be honest.
Just be honest. Yeah.
Just be honest when it comes to stuff like that. All right. Number 5, bodybuilding has improved my sex life.
What do you think? You first.
I don't know that any of these guys on this panel were married.
Yeah, I have no idea. The moderator was. I know he's married.
Yeah, but the way that they talked about this question, most of them, except for the one kid, most of them brought it back to, I started to build confidence in myself.
Right.
And like confidence is sexy, right? Like whether you've got
that's
big
probably what the
muscles or
biggest
not,
thing, right?
that is 100% the biggest thing, because confidence is sexy. But they had this one kid, fucking love that goddamn kid. He was like a 22-year-old steroid user. They did an intro where they had all the guys flex with like no shirts on. Oh my God, you would think that kid is just a natural doughboy. Like he didn't look big or anything at all. So it's like, clearly he's just not doing some things right. But that dude was just like Steroids, awesome. Sex, awesome. Cigarettes, awesome. Coffee, awesome. He's like,
Yeah.
"You ever have a cigarette and a cup of coffee? It's the best thing ever."
Yeah.
He was so, oh my gosh. He was just I don't know. It was just funny. Wasn't the smartest one in the box. But
He was my favorite
Sex,
though.
great.
I was
He
like
was
this.
fun.
Yeah, I was like this guy rules.
That guy, he's like, fucking cigarettes, awesome. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So I don't know if any of them were married because they didn't talk about it. They
Yep.
all talked about it like they were single. But one of the guys on the panel, I'm pretty sure, was a virgin.
Oh yeah, he said for religious reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said
And they were all those guys were
I
like, "Wait,
cannot.
what?
Yeah.
How do you do this? What is that?"
Yeah, he was.
They were all like fucking, their minds were blown.
Yeah, they're like, so how do you do that? Is that like some type of Jedi
What?
religion? How do you
How do you
you
do
just
that?
you will it away? How do you I don't understand.
Yeah. But bodybuilding's improved my sex life. I don't know. I want to
Yeah.
say I feel sexier.
Sure. Yeah. I think I agree with that. Like you look better, you feel better, and you perform better.
Yeah.
I
I feel because you feel better about yourself. You just said that, but like I feel sexier
yeah.
because I'm like, I got curvy muscles and I got
Mhm.
flexy abs during that time. So it's like I
That's
want to be
true.
hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so in that case, yes. Agree.
Agree. Okay, number 6. There is no such thing as too much muscle. Would you agree with that? That there's no such thing. You just unlock, keep going muscle,
No,
and there's no such
I
thing of
think
that.
yeah, I think there's a thing is too much muscle. When there's too
I
much muscle,
agree.
you die.
Well, because your body starts I mean, if you have too
Yeah.
much muscle, your body starts like
Your organs can't support all that.
internally like you're obese because
Yeah.
you are technically, right? Because like obese in that sense is the weight on your body, not necessarily like the composition of your body.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like it's a lot on your organs. So the conversation, which I thought was really interesting, went around um that a little bit. And what I also found really interesting, and like I wrote like a little note just like, all of the steroid guys, with the exception I think of one, were all wearing big ass baggy t-shirts.
Yes.
So like you couldn't even see like any sort of shape to them at all, except for the one guy. But like all of the natty guys were wearing like either these like tight ass shirts or like tank tops,
Mm.
and they looked phenomenal.
Yeah,
Most of them.
I didn't see the intro, so like I missed the like where they were basically posing.
Yeah, but just
And
sitting around like in their tops.
yeah. Yeah, but yeah, and I think they made a comment, the moderator made a comment too. He was just like, most of the cast here or most of the crew thought that the, naturals were the enhanced guys.
Because they look great. They had some guy who's won like
Mr. Universe or
Mr.
something?
something like that, like from Muscle Mania, a couple of times, he said.
Yeah.
And they voted him the best physique. They all voted on like who looked best out of all of them. They all voted for him. But like no such thing as too much muscle. I think that this question go either way, right? Because you just started saying it's not healthy. So you can definitely go down
Yeah, that's when I think it's too
the
much.
health side of things.
If you're still healthy, whatever, yeah. I don't know what that
But when I hear this
max
question,
is.
I think of it as like preference, like attractiveness. That's immediately how
Oh,
I thought about that
gotcha.
question.
I went just from, like, a health perspective. I was like, "Nah, you keep growing. As long as you don't die."
Just don't
What
like the cows where they deleted that gene that tells your body to stop building muscle.
Oh, I know. Those fuckers
Dr.
were
Mike says that they're going to come out with
jacked.
that in like the next 10 years for humans.
We'll see, yeah.
That'll be insane. But I took it as like an attraction
Gotcha.
standpoint.
Gotcha.
And then in that case, I do personally
Yeah.
like those big like the big giant bodybuilding guys. freak shows, absolutely. Entertaining to watch,
Yep.
100%. I want to watch it and I can appreciate the work that went into that,
Yeah.
but like I don't find that attractive. Like it's just that's too much
Yeah. I agree.
in
I
my
think that
opinion.
sure. Yeah. I totally agree. I think that yeah, there's just a point where you're just like, yeah, it's too much. But
Mhm.
for my first reason, it's definitely
Definitely not healthy.
definitely yeah. As soon as you hit a weight that's gonna kill you, like you can't support any muscle. That's too much.
That's too much. As soon as your heart starts to give out, too much. Number 7 was natural bodybuilding is the future.
Yeah, I disagree with this. I just
I
think
agree. I
I
agree with you. I disagree with the question.
oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I disagree. It's just like from my perspective, it's just like look at where the money is.
Mhm.
Um, look at what people go to see, right? They go to see the freaks, the biggest motherfuckers out there, 300 plus.
Yeah,
You're just like monsters. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. And so and for that reason, I think it's always going to outperform natural bodybuilding.
agree 100%. It
Yeah.
is like the freak show entertainment side of things.
Yeah.
Because even the smaller guys, like you look at like the Mr. Olympia payouts, like the people who walk away with the most amount of money are the bodybuilders, the freak shows. Those draw in the money. Every other category is less. And then I think the women are even less because
Mm,
it's just what draws in eyes.
the most
You want to
attendance.
see
Yeah.
like
Viewership.
the biggest fucking freak show
Yep.
is what it is. Like I said, respect the hell out of it. It's crazy to watch, but that's what you want. Entertainment always wants to be upped.
Yeah.
Um, I totally agree with that. It
Yeah.
just
I think natural bodybuilding will keep getting bigger. I think like the federations will just like start gobbling each other up and then they'll become one federation eventually, which they should
which
do.
I think most natural competitors hope for that
Yeah.
because there's so many different federations, and then you've got to have like memberships or pro cards like in each one of them.
Right.
Some take other like natty pros, some don't.
Right.
And then it's like the shows can sometimes be really small depending on like where it is. So it's like, yeah, bring them all together. NBC's trying to do it
Right.
with their naturals. It's not the same level
The
of
rules are
natural.
the rules are a lot different.
The rules are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Um,
Just no trend. Everything else. No, I'm just kidding.
Everything else is fine. But you know what's really interesting too is like I also think no, not just for anything that you just said, but like drugs keep getting over what has been considered safe drugs keep getting more and more like popular, right? Like all
Mhm.
those people that are taking like GLP-1s, natural federations are banning those while they're in prep, but like who knows how much more they're going to ban those. All of like these peptides, like that's like all this big thing. So it's like the more and more that shit becomes available and somebody can go, "Oh, you fucking tore the tendon. I can give you this shot and it'll heal you in 4 weeks."
Mhm.
That kind of stuff I think is going to start pulling people away from technically being natural
Mhm.
because they did like a BCP 157 shot in their arm to heal
Mhm.
themselves.
Sure.
For that to disqualify, now I understand it and I'm not saying, but like it's one of those things that's like for that to disqualify you for
Right.
me natural, like so I I don't think that they should like lessen their standards, but I also think that it the things that have just become available for people readily available to fix ailments or whatever is going to pull people away from that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know what the argument would be against that, and unless it's just pure laziness, and they're like, "Oh, well, we're not. It's slippery slope, and if you let one through, then you let them all
Totally.
through." And I'm like, I guess I can see that argument, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
agree. I think it should be tailored a little bit more. And like, oh, this is just for healing. I mean, are you going to
Yeah,
ban
because it's
Tylenol?
not an
You
anabolic.
going to ban, right? It's just like
Yeah.
I think they went with just like the easy thing to do, which is just say no, no to
Just say
no to
no.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
instead of like, All right. Well, we'll just draw the line at peptides.
Right. I
Anything
agree.
past
It is a
peptides
slippery,
is sorry.
but I agree it's a slippery slope. And like, I'm not disagreeing with the rules, but just like the more these things become very readily available, people are going to weed themselves out of being truly natural.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was it. And then
That
they
was the last
voted
question.
on best physique.
Who do you think's the most handsome?
They all picked the natural guy. And then like second place was also a natural guy. The
Well,
natural guys on that looked better than the
I don't know
gear
why
guys.
I don't know why they didn't bring out like the guys on gear. Like they picked, I don't know, more influencing. There was the one guy wearing the hat. Like he's got a really good physique.
I've
But
only ever seen
he's
him
wearing
on his
I
podcast.
forget his name now, but he's got a really good physique, and he's IFBB pro. And but yeah, they didn't like
He's
for
got
the
a good
people
podcast. I like it.
for the people that were on gear. It was just like interesting panel. Like I think they could have got like the moderator was on gear. Like he should have been in the panel.
Well, and he said that too. But that was good for him to moderate though, because he was able to join in or like steer conversation.
Yeah.
There was only one guy that was on steroids. It was like that older guy, and he looked great. But the
He
other
looked really
ones
good.
not so
Yeah,
much.
he did.
Yeah.
He looked good too.
Yeah. Did you get your check-in yet this week?
No, I did not. Did you get yours?
I did. Did you get your blood work though?
Didn't get that either. Did blood work
So
on
you
Monday.
have like no real updates.
I got nothing to talk about.
But Coach did say some nice things about you, right? Didn't he post your stuff on Instagram?
He did. He gave me a huge
And
shout
said,
out.
look at my hunky client.
Yeah, he said, "Look at this guy." Yeah, and I think just look at it. I was like, "Thanks, Coach." Yeah, he had a nice post of like me doing like a men's physique pose like before I think I started right around in the very beginning.
I don't
of
know
working
when
with
that
him.
post was. Yeah.
Yeah, in the very beginning of working with him. To me, like last week when I sent over my check-in, and it was like awesome difference.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was really nice. But besides that, no difference. Basically, just waiting for get labs back. My check-in was good. Coach said some encouraging things, and yeah, just kind of no change.
You're just cruising at this point. Get your blood work back, and then you'll start cycle again.
Yeah,
and then you're going to have more changes.
Yeah, then I'll have a little more information.
Yeah.
How about you? How was your check-in?
I had a good check-in. I had a good check-in last week, and then I had a good check-in this week. I've been losing just about a pound a week the last couple of weeks, so that's really, really good. I'm at like 143.1 this morning because I was checking on Saturdays.
Nice.
So it's 1.1 down from last week. I'm still at like 2,500 and change calories. So I'm losing a pound a week at that, which is like awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Which my maintenance this year was, we didn't really go much above like 3,000 calories, like maybe like 31, but that's cool that, and I didn't put on nearly as much body fat, but like, I'm like at a pound a week and I'm eating just over 2,500 calories. So that's really cool. So we'll stay at these calories until I stop responding to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, coach is just really awesome at that. Just wants to keep my calories which you should, but as high as possible.
I think it's crazy that you do no cardio.
You do cardio. Listen, do cardio.
But for my prep, I was doing like
oh my God, that was insane. It sucked.
I
was like that. I was like, you sure you don't want to use my coach? Because my coach doesn't 55 minutes
every morning, motherfucker.
But you have to do cardio for your cardiovascular being
health,
on gear, for your cardiovascular health. So you stay on that all the time. And then you started that because your blood glucose was high. So you're doing that not to get lean, but for just like your blood and your heart.
Right.
Yeah, no cardio. Last prep, we had cardio for like twice a week for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3 times a week, and that was only like the last 2 weeks. But no cardio. I get my steps. I walk
I
a
mean,
lot.
I say that, but I got a cheat meal all the way up to like week 8.
You did. But
Week
and
6,
that was
I don't know,
wild to
something like
me
that. Yeah.
because he just said cheat meal, burger and fries. And I'm like, yeah, but like how many carbs, protein, like what? Because I
Yeah.
don't get cheat meals.
Yeah.
I did get a refeed today. So I am 13 weeks out. So I've been on prep for 7 weeks, 6, 7 weeks. No. Oh, it was like early December. So like a little,
Yeah, you
like
said
I
you did
guess like
20
6
weeks,
weeks.
right?
Yeah. So like 6
Yes.
weeks.
Yep.
I'd been steadily losing. Anyway, I totally lost my train of thought. I'm at 2,500 calories. I won't have cardio till closer to the end. So we're doing good. But because they've been on for 6 weeks, I know where I was going with that. I got a refeed today.
Yeah.
But my refeed's not go have a cheat meal. My refeed was have 40 extra carbs today. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking take every
Ooh.
goddamn I'm gonna take every goddamn one of those like a
Oh,
fucking rat.
sure.
I was so excited. I had a
Yeah.
bagel.
Mm.
And on the so good. On my bagel, I put like a little bit of my sugar-free jam
Mhm.
and then a little bit of like a drizzle. I love all of the sweet things. A little syrup, cinnamon, salt. Woo, it was so good. And then I was like almost uncomfortably full because I had
Yeah.
that like literally right after my breakfast.
Yeah,
So
you
it was
did
very
say
good.
that. I remember.
Yeah. So coach said things are looking good each week, a little bit tighter.
Mhm.
So my shoulders are really coming in today. So that was really good. Um, I think because we didn't do an episode last week, I have a huge update on my gut health. So I think the last episode we talked about that coach said I had to cut how do you say it?
Sucralose? Oh, no, I'm saying
Sucralose?
sucralose? It's a
Sucralose.
I'm butchering it
I
now. I
think you're
don't know.
saying it right. I
Sucralose.
can't say it. I
Yeah.
can't remember. So coach was like, try to cut that. And I think we talked about that 2 weeks ago because I was about to, because it's only been 2 weeks. So Sunday, went into Sunday paying attention. And here's like the big thing that sucked is that that's in Ghost. So I rotate between 3 different protein powders, Macro Mike, Orgain, and Ghost. And Ghost bakes really, really well.
Mhm.
And it's in all my protein bars. So I was using Ghost in my smoothie in the morning. And then my second meal, I would have a protein bar. And my third meal, I was having a protein bar. So I was having like a lot of it.
Mhm.
And then it was in the syrup that I used. And then it was also in my pre workout. So it's like I was doing like 9 scoops of pre workout a day spread over the morning. So I was having tons of it. And then she goes, you know what? See if you can stop and see if that helps. I fucking shit you not. Sunday, I didn't have any. And it was the first day in like a year. I can't even tell you how long that my stomach didn't gurgle like fucking crazy.
Mhm.
And I was like, holy shit. Monday, some of the bloating that I would feel usually like throughout the day was starting to go away. No gurgling. Went the whole week last week and I was like, son of a fucking bitch. I can't have this like one artificial sweetener. So rebought a couple things. I actually just froze the protein bars, didn't try to remake them. I just kind of subbing out other things and I'm perfectly happy with that. But like 2 weeks now, that's gone down. I think all of the bloating and reaction that I was having to it's totally gone. I can actually like retract my stomach even after a big meal,
Mhm.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking I haven't been able to do that and I can't even tell you how long. So it's that. So that was amazing. I'm very happy to have learned that about my body. And with that, along with like my digestive enzymes and stuff that I'm taking with Silver Fern for like the first time in like a year and a half, I feel good,
That's
which
good.
is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's helping. Though I will tell you what sucks about it though is like I feel my gut all healed and I'm feeling hungry. For the last like 6 months, I have had a hard time getting all my food in because I just am
I
not
know. I
hungry.
thought you were gonna say, and you had to stop drinking your pre-workout, and your new pre-workout sucks.
It does suck.
Actually, no, I think it's okay. It's what was the one before? There's a couple concoctions you were trying with your homemade pre-workout, and it was the first couple ones were gross.
It was like I tried to buy pre-workout. Every pre-workout has
Sucralose.
I don't want to say, my brain doesn't want to say that. Every pre-workout has it. I went to GNC and this guy helped me for 20 minutes, like reading labels, found one, and it gave me so much heartburn. So I was like, fuck. And it was gross.
But it had gains in it, which was good.
It said it had gains.
200%
But there was that
gains.
One.
That's pretty good.
And then there was like another weird one you bought from Sprouts. Sprouts has tons of like weird fucking shit.
Yeah. Hippy dippy pre-workout.
Hippy dippy pre-workout, and it was disgusting. So now I'm making mine like I make yours, but I've got all the dry ingredients, but no, I'm still trying to figure out the flavor profile.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Shit's gross.
Anyway, it's just gross. So I'm doing good. I'm going into a deload next week, which I need it because my shoulder's been really tender, and my hips have been really tight.
Mm-hmm.
So deload next week. While I deload, depending on how long my workout is, I'll typically jump on cardio, and you always do that during my pre-workout, not pre-workout, deload, because like the gym is just like my mental break during the day from work, and I just don't want to come back home and go to work. And then Wednesday, so I'll do some cardio this week, but that's not the norm. So yeah, it's doing good. We're doing good. We're feeling good. We're looking good. My waist trainer is too big.
Nice.
It's getting big on me. I can move in it. I shouldn't be able to move in it. Like when I twist, my body is twisting. Like it's not twisting with me.
Yeah, you needed to.
That's what I mean.
Squeeze the shit out of you.
Squeeze me more. I ordered one, so we're waiting for it.
What are your wins of the week?
5 plates on the leg press and a pound down. And feeling good. Didn't you just hear all that shit I said?
I was going to say, I kind of said your wins of the week.
Really, well, because it's just, we're in a good place. We're in a really good place.
Yeah.
Don't have a crazy amount of weight to lose. So like, I just feel good. I feel confident.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you? What are your wins, baby?
Wins of the week. Squat. I got 8 reps on the 475. Sorry, 6 reps, 475.
What were you at before?
I was at 475. I did 4 reps last time.
Have you done more reps at 475?
465. I did more.
Okay.
So I've tried up in the weight, and then like the 10 pounds is like, whoa. Last it was like 4 reps. So I was like, yep, that's it. And then this week,
so you got up to 6.
So this week I got 2 more reps. Yeah, for my top set. Trying to push up that high.
That's awesome.
Top set weight. Yeah. So.
And that's crazy. And you're doing nothing right now, but just like normal leveling of testosterone.
Correct. Yep.
Or like TRT levels.
Yeah,
low for a man.
Yeah.
But you're not taking anything that would be like increasing your strength like crazy right now outside of like the TRT.
Right. Yeah. So I'm doing TRT and then GH.
But that doesn't make you stronger.
No, it just helps with recovery, but.
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm just pointing out that you're doing it.
Yeah, with
off
cycle. Off cycle for sure. Yeah.
Like you haven't lost strength, you're gaining strength.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. Like I always I think it's like a placebo effect where I feel like I'll lose a couple reps, like weight will stay the same, but I'll lose a couple reps like coming off immediately, and then I slowly build it back up. So I don't know if it's placebo, if I just generally feel like just a little bit weaker.
Well, I imagine you would kind of crash a little bit. Do you feel like a crash when it comes off? Like,
not
because it's
really.
like a huge hit to your body. Like all of a sudden you don't have all this shit going on.
No, but because of the esters, the enanthates, they and I do daily injections. It's like
some might say that you microdose.
Because I microdose, which is a weird way to say it, but yes.
You're microdosing your testosterone?
Yeah, I think just like going up and then coming down because I'm doing daily injections, it just like it like slowly builds up and then tapers off. So I don't have any like huge crashes.
Right. No, that makes sense because it's daily stream and not like a big injection for the week or whatever.
Exactly. So when I come off, I taper off, and when I go up, I taper up. So it's just like, anyway. But I microdose on and microdose off. You know what I'm saying? What?
I love it.
Fuck. Yeah.
I love it. All right. I think that's it for us today.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.